Even at a microscopic level, there is a bit of selective dating going on. While we're often taught that fertilization is a frantic race where the fastest sperm wins, modern science shows it's actually more complex than that. Instead of pure speed and chance, the process involves interaction and selection. The human egg isn't just a passive waiting cell. Research shows it can influence which sperm succeed. When sperm enter the reproductive system, they begin a long and challenging journey. Out of millions released, and only a few thousand make it as far as the fallopian tubes. On the other hand, after ovulation, the egg travels into a specific meeting point in the fallopian tube called the ampulla. This is where fertilization most often happens. The egg's survival window is short, usually about 12 to 24 hours. As it arrives there, the egg and its surrounding cells begin releasing signals that indicate it's ready for fertilization. For sperm, timing is critical. They have to be in the right place at the right moment to respond to these signals and reach the egg. As sperm get closer, the egg and its surrounding cells release chemical signals called chemoattractants, almost like a scent trail guiding them. These signals can attract some sperm while potentially ignoring others. The egg is essentially sending a GPS signal that only certain sperm are tuned into. While a sperm might be a marathon winner in terms of speed, the egg is looking for something much deeper: genetic compatibility. Actually, the egg doesn't want the best sperm in a general sense. It wants the sperm that best complements its own DNA. Here is how the choice actually works. The chemicals released by the eggs don't attract all sperm equally. An egg's scent may be more attractive to the sperm of one individual over another. Studies suggest this preference may be linked to genetic differences, especially in immune system genes known as MHC. Greater diversity here is often associated with stronger immune protection in future offspring. When a sperm reaches the egg, the process becomes a coordinated chemical and mechanical interaction. As it encounters the zona pellucida, the egg's outer layer, the sperm undergoes the acrosome reaction, releasing enzymes and using strong tail movements to help penetrate this barrier. However, passing the outer layer does not guarantee fertilization. Final fusion occurs at the egg's membrane and depends on specific molecular binding between the sperm and egg. But when chosen sperm successfully fuses with the egg's membrane, the egg undergoes a massive chemical shift that instantly hardens the outer shell, locking out all other contenders forever. This selective process is the reason why fertilization is such a miracle of biology. It isn't just about who is fastest, it's about which sperm carries the genetic code that best complements the egg's own DNA. So if the egg is so picky and the process is so selective, why do things still go wrong? The truth is that while the egg is an incredible gatekeeper, it isn't perfect. It is a biological system, and biological systems have limits. Actually, the egg can only screen external cues. So a sperm might be a strong swimmer and interact correctly with the egg, yet still carry hidden genetic changes or recessive disease genes. Those aren't always detectable at the moment of fertilization, which is why biological selection, while remarkable, isn't foolproof. Also, sometimes the sperm and egg are both perfectly healthy when they meet. But a glitch happens during the actual merging or the very first cell divisions. Evolution doesn't aim for perfect, it aims for good enough to survive. The egg's choice significantly reduces the risk of many problems, but it can't eliminate them entirely. Actually, if the egg were too picky, Fertilization might never happen at all. We've all been taught the same story. Reproduction is a race. Millions of sperm compete in an Olympic-level marathon, and the fastest, strongest one to reach the egg is the winner. New research is flipping the traditional narrative on its head. The interaction between the egg and sperm is far more complex than a simple race. It is more like a chemical dialogue. Human egg isn't just a passive prize waiting to be claimed. It's actually a sophisticated selector that can choose which men's sperm it prefers. And its choice might not even be the woman's partner. While an egg doesn't have a brain to make conscious decisions, it utilizes chemoattractants, chemical signals released into the follicular fluid surrounding the egg. This process is known as chemotaxis. In 2020, researchers discovered something incredible. They used a clever experimental setup to observe this chemical choice in real time. They collected follicular fluid and sperm from different couples undergoing fertility treatment. They then set up choice chambers where sperm from one man were exposed to follicular fluid from 2 different women. In Chamber A, researchers placed the follicular fluid, the nutrient-rich liquid that surrounds a maturing egg, from the man's actual partner. In Chamber B, they placed follicular fluid from a stranger, a woman he had never met. By removing the egg and using only the fluid, the researchers were able to prove that the choice happens through pure chemistry, not physical contact. They then placed the man's sperm in a neutral starting area where they had an equal choice to swim toward either chamber. If fertilization were just a random race, roughly 50% of the sperm should have gone to the partner's fluid and 50% to the stranger's fluid. But the results were not 50-50. A specific woman's follicular fluid consistently attracted more sperm from certain men, regardless of whether they were her partner or not. In many trials, sperm showed a stronger response to the follicular fluid of a non-partner female than to their own partners. It sounds like the sperm is making the choice, but the sperm is simply responding to the environment the egg has created. Think of it like a magnet and a piece of metal. The metal moves toward the magnet, but it's the magnet's invisible field that determines how fast and in which direction the metal travels. The follicular fluid surrounds the egg act like a perfume. If the sperm have the right receivers for that specific woman's perfume, they swim in a straight, fast line directly toward the source. Their tails beat more efficiently. If the chemicals don't match, the sperm swim aimlessly, turn in circles, or just don't move toward the egg at all, even if they are physically healthy. The experiment showed that a woman's body doesn't know or care who her social partner is. Her eggs are programmed to look for the best genetic puzzle piece to complete the DNA. And sometimes a stranger's sperm provides a more diverse and healthy immune system match than her partner's does. It's also important to note that these studies involved couples undergoing fertility treatment, where communication between sperm and egg may already be affected. Evolution wants offspring with a diverse immune system. If a man's genetic profile is too similar to the woman's, the egg might reject his sperm chemically to avoid genetic issues. If a stranger's profile offers a better immune boost for a future baby, the egg signals his sperm more loudly. This discovery helps explain why some perfectly healthy couples struggle with unexplained infertility. It's not that something is broken. It might actually be a result of chemical incompatibility at this microscopic level. The egg signals simply aren't tuned to that specific partner's sperm. Next time you think about conception, remember, it's not just a race. It's a complex chemical conversation where the egg always has the final word. This phenomenon is called cryptic female choice.